Is this the most unexpected, out of the blue, exotic release of the year? Maybe even the last couple years outside of perhaps Clutch Kringle the Elf? I think so. I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting forever for Jessie Wheelin here, the background most generic white Pitty in all of the Cars movies and Cars on the Road. I am just so overjoyed to finally have her as a diecast. Definitely the most anticipated character out of Cars on the Road. Yeah, no, I'm completely joking. We're obviously talking about the movie prop, the Mama UFO movie prop that was one of the cooler Easter eggs, in my opinion, of the show, and was the first thing I ever made a short of on YouTube. I was like, hey, why is no one talking about that? Like, that's sick. From the 2010, 12 years ago at the time, Unidentified Flying Mater Cars Toons Mater Tall Tale short. It's incredible. We're going to talk a lot about it. I am happy about the Pitties as well. They're obviously both new characters, both new releases. So we're going to get into it. But yeah, guys, welcome back to another Mr. Docket presentation. We have this sweet 2.5 borderline 3-pack here to review out of 2024 2-packs case Y. Only available in Canada so far. Hopefully it hits the US, but the US is currently a couple cases behind on 2-packs at Target and Walmart. They are just now getting in the case that was out in Canada in March. So yeah, to give you an idea of how far behind the US is, March, September, carry the 1, add the 4. Yeah, that's like 6 months behind almost. Absolutely absurdity. But here we are. Thanks to my good friend, The Fresh Trunk, for helping me obtain this. Very grateful. There are some on eBay for reasonable prices I saw as well. So if you don't want to wait for it to get your country, then yes, snag one off eBay. It really wouldn't be the worst buy in the world. I think this will be a very coveted and rare 2-pack going forward because it technically contains 3 new releases, which is awesome. As I mentioned in my review of the whole 2-pack case, which I'll leave the link for in the description below and card suggestion pop-up, I wish they had some sort of artwork here of the movie prop because they do call it out on the name tag. Like, why not also include an image of it? Now, I understand these images come from Pixar. Mattel doesn't actually generate them just out of nowhere. I mean, maybe ChatGPT could, but yeah, would have been cool to see that because it does appear prominently there in the show. But yeah, you do have Nicole Revwell here, who is the teal and yellow Pitty, and then Jessie Wheelin, the white Pitty, who perhaps has one of the most generic names to go along with the most generic looking Pitty of all time. And I say that now, almost 20 years into the Cars franchise, I understand we have to kind of reuse naming conventions like, Williams, Wilson, Wheelin here, but there have been so many with Wheel. It's absurd. And we've gotten Jessie's before. There are so many other first names, like even common first names that Mattel has not used, and yet there's like a billion Kevins. You got your Bryans in there. There's like 5 Bryans. There are, a couple Bobbies in the Piston Cup. Like Jessie, obviously we've seen before. And then you pair that with Wheelin. Come on. I think we could have come up with a better name. We could have found a better employee to name it after, or even just been a little bit more creative with probably Jesse Williams or something like that. I don't know. But either way, very excited for this girthy 2-pack here. The blister, we're back to old days with how it's a full rectangular prism here, not just the streamline that we're used to seeing. And yeah, that's, what happens when you get some very oddly shaped cars. This happened with Chief Dis and Jeremy and Red and Stanley as well. On the back, you have Ramon and Flo, Jeremy and Chieftas, who we just mentioned, and then Ken and Janoki and Justin Roadrunner. Another awesome 2-pack this year. Ken and Janoki staying exclusive to the 2-pack, and Justin Roadrunner, this version being exclusive, but also being released as a single with the loaded weapon. This one is unloaded because it's been discharged onto poor Ken over there. But yeah, pretty good year for 2-packs for Cars on the Road. Ramon finally getting that release we've been looking for. These obviously were awesome, but the one I'm holding is really what makes the year so good, because who would have ever thought, definitely not me, we would ever get that UFO prop. I mean, it's just so random, and it does kind of show that Mattel is in tune with what the fans want. I think, doing something like this is a little bit more like fan servicey than doing, I guess, let's say Bella Cadaver and the assistant, the movie assistant, like that BMW assistant or something like that. Or let's say a better comp maybe would be like President Mater and Lance the Writer with his keyboard. Like that's like a pack I could totally see happening, because you have like a Pitty with an accessory in there, but not as exotic as what we have going on here. So I'm going to bust this guy open, or these fella-ats open. And yeah, very excited to check them out. All right, we got the squad all opened up. Before we get into it, obviously, got to show where they all appear in the episode. And yeah, I mean, we're struggling to get them all in the frame here. Yeah, there you go. Unloading some stuff from that truck. They're really cool. There's another Pitty off to the side as well. I believe a blue and white Pitty, kind of in the same paint scheme as Double Clutch Daily, just a different shape. So yeah, maybe we'll get him eventually as well. But yeah, really cool. Again, love this scene here. Honestly, this is my favorite episode of Cars on the Road because of all the Easter eggs. We obviously get later into the episode, and you have all the stuff on the shelves there. You have stuff from Cars Toons, Cars 2, Cars 3, Todd the Pizza Planet's little blimp in the background. And it was a really good episode, I think, all around, with the story as well. The Ivy inclusion at the end there, not so much, but we're going to just kind of pretend that didn't happen. So yeah, we're going to save the UFO for later and just focus on the Pittys for now, especially Jessie Wheelin here, who, yeah, probably is one of the most generic Pittys Mattel has ever released. But on the flip side of that, obviously now is some good custom fodder. If this 2-pack isn't giga rare, could definitely buy up a bunch and make some really cool piston cup Pittys, or whatever kind of Pittys you want to make. But yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen this Pitty roaming around in other Cars on the Road episodes, just in a slightly different paint job. Obviously, Pittys being very common throughout the Cars universe, they get reused a lot. Now this one is a little different, with the forks being positioned in the middle with the nubbins, which I will show you what those are used for soon. Does look like she has a little bit of a mouth there that's beveled, but really hardly visible from the side or even the top there. She's got this plastic cap. You could see it's a very thin layer of plastic there between the metal body. You do have a little bit of tar, kind of upsplash there, some wear around the fenders, which is pretty nice, because again, generic white Pitty, probably not the move. Add some tar, makes it a little bit better. So yeah, I like the wear there. Definitely makes sense for someone who's working on loading trucks all day. I like it a lot. And on the base here, do we have a date stamp? Sometimes it's on the fork. Ooh, did Jessie escape without a date stamp? Ooh, it appears so. That's wild. I can't believe it. Interesting. Maybe the UFO took it for her. That's interesting. Yeah. A little more tar there in a different kind of orientation than the other side. So nice. Not a whole lot to say about Jessie. I do have some other Pittys I want to compare these two to, but let's do Nicole Revwell here first. I like the expression on her a lot. Really nice. I also like the color combo here. It's almost like they were trying to avoid like a piston cup racer combo. It's like almost kind of View-zine, but like not really, because it's, Michael Roeder's darker. Like, I don't know, they're like kind of verging between a couple piston cup paint jobs, but yeah, definitely not really identifiable to one. And I like the blue eyes. Again, you have a plastic cap here, and then you got the tar detailing there with slightly different wheels than the other Pitty. But yeah, very flat. All these are very like straight and cut off without the like equipment that we've seen on some of the previous Pittys, especially from Cars 1. But yeah, really nice. I do like the detailing here on the back with the vents. Looks really good. Yeah, definitely a chunkier Pitty than Jessie, but I like that. And yep, she Certainly got herself a date stamp, T24A, so same as Miguel Camino and Jackson from the other 2-pack in the case, which I did review the other day. Actually, GRC Miguel Camino is pretty awesome. He's gotten a lot of unnecessary hate and dislike, in my opinion. But yeah, let's compare these two to a couple other pitties I got, actually a lot. Obviously, the most direct comparison for everyone is going to be Laura Spinwell here to Nicole Revwell. Yeah, I mean, again, the naming conventions, 2 pitties. They're the only 2 in this model. Okay, cool. You got Spinwell and you got Revwell. Like, Jesus in the morning, what the hell, Mattel? I hope that was just a coincidence, but damn, does it make it seem a little lazy? A little bit, yeah. But yeah, obviously the forks are in different positions, which is nice, but it is the same mold for a pitty. You have the black outline popping out around the windows there, though, for sure. Even though both are from Thailand. Laura Spinwell debuted in 2020. Let me make a guess as to her date stamp. I think she was like August 2020. I'm going to guess maybe like 12 weeks. Oh, it's so similar. Let's go 18, the 18th week of whatever year that was. 23, wow. That's wild. That's way later than I thought. That's almost, yeah, it's almost exactly 4 years prior. But I'm pretty sure this 2-pack came out in August, and obviously we're in October now with this one. Maybe the lockdowns of 2020 had something to do with that, a little bit of an accelerated process. I don't know. Actually, it doesn't really make much sense to me at all. But yeah, there's Laura Spinwell for you. Here we have Sarah Cogs, one of the more recent Cars on the Road pitties here. And yeah, these are maybe like the 3 new pitty models, kind of, almost. Very flat, don't have much detailing. Very sterile looking. Obviously, Sarah Cogs has the cool goggles. Almost the same paint scheme as Nicole Revwell, just with a darker shade of the teal and the white salty tires. Here you have Hall and Gas as well. No. Did I just say Hall and Gas? Oh my God. I need to go to bed. Hall M. Haynes. I mean, I will give myself some slack. Like, those names are also similar. Hall M. Haynes, Hall and Gas. Having some naming troubles today. But all different models here still. Now, Hall M. Haynes is a very underrated release. Obviously, he's kind of the wrong color, but I do love the metallic look of him. One of the easiest to find 2-packs ever. I know, yeah, I mean, I still see this guy at Target and Meijer. Here we have Millie from Cars 3, another very flat, sterile-looking pitty. But again, a different model than all these ones. So far, only Laura and Revwell over here have been the same. This came out of one of the Cars on the Road 2-pack, or not 2-packs, but play sets, the Rust-eze Dynaco Racing Center one, which again, didn't really make sense for Cars on the Road, but might have been a deleted episode of some sort. And yeah, it's actually a really cool display piece. Goes well with Millie, even though it doesn't roll or anything. And then going back in time a little bit to one of the Dynaco pitties here, who has a lot more of those add-ons to the back half of him. The Orderly pitty here, who has a similar color and a little bit of a similar shape to Nicole. No, yeah, it is Nicole. That's why we need more unique names so they're easier to remember. But yeah, this is kind of like the evolution of this model and color almost. You know, it's if this model got modernized, sleeker, sharper, but same overall shape. You got your lug/nutty here. Super nostalgic now, guys, aren't we? Getting back into 2010 with these guys. And obviously cannot review a pitty without showing Guido. If you didn't know, that is actually sacrilegious. You cannot review any pitty without comparing it or them to Guido. Just law. You know, sorry guys, I don't make the rules. That's just kind of how it goes. Guido is the daddy pitty after all. But speaking of daddies, this is actually a mama, but maybe it is a daddy. I mean, we really don't know. Could be. Yes, the UFO here, this is absolutely incredible. It is the perfect size. It has these holes on either side here, but it does have the date stamp, by the way, T24A. So it looks like subbed out for Jessie. Jessie didn't have to have one, but the UFO took one. And yeah, you got those holes on either side so they can hold it. Yeah, they go in pretty nicely. They don't really pop in or anything, but just enough to get the job done. That's actually awesome. That's a great functionality that this pack has. Whoa, Jessie. No, I'm sorry, Nicole. Nicole. There we go. That's awesome, guys. It's like a little piece of functionality that I certainly was not expecting when this pack got revealed. Yeah, I mean, it works really well. Definitely better if you have your hands on both of them. But yeah, and only one of them can push it for sure. Yeah, this one actually connected a lot more firmly than with Nicole. But there we go. Yeah, now this one's definitely firm. That's awesome. Wonder how I'll take the thumbnail if I'll actually have them looking like this. Probably not, because I want to have everyone looking at the camera, but this is pretty sweet. Like, that's awesome. This is so cool. Maybe I will do it like this. We'll see how it comes out. But yeah, very excited. Definitely living up to all my hopes and dreams. I first off love how the UFO is very weathered looking. Definitely, like, you know, he's been rented a lot. You know, the movie prop company has leased him out to a lot of different productions, and so therefore he's kind of taken a little bit of a beating over the years, or maybe it's intentional. Maybe he is designed to look like this, but yeah, it looks really realistic. Almost got some like dirt in there too, like it's not all just gray. Like there's a little bit of like orange, whether it be dirt or rust in there mixed in as well, which looks really good. Hard to see on the camera, but in person you definitely kind of see some brown, rusty bronze tints to it. I also love how the eyes are separate pieces there. Like they actually pop out. They're not painted on. That's, you know, a really cool element. Add some depth to it. But yeah, this is all plastic, which I was totally expecting, totally fine with. However, obviously Mater here, the UFO from Unidentified Flying Mater, is die cast. It does have some plastic, like this base here is plastic. But that was because this was released as a die cast. Crazy. You know, that they literally released this. They did give them a stand and some oil cans though. But yeah, it's like one of the only things ever released for Disney cars that did not have wheels. I'm pretty sure. Like the most non-Cars item they ever released was Mater. And also, of course, in the Unidentified Flying Mater, that is always a mouthful, playset, you had the Mama UFO that sat on top of the loop. And yeah, it was an awesome add to the collection back in the day because it is pretty much in scale with everything. Yeah, definitely the Mama UFO here. But yeah, you could tell by the eyes that the prop here and also the shape is, you know, it's meant to be either the Mama or maybe like the Papa UFO and not Mater himself. Yeah, obviously shape and the eyes gives it away here. But yeah, really cool to see both of these. I mean, if I showed you like this in 2010, you would never have understood, like, what is that? You know, and you would have been waiting a long, long time. Like, if I showed you this in 2010, you'd be like, oh, yeah, like, we're actually going to get Mama UFO, even though, like, way out of scale. That's weird. Wonder how that'll ever happen. And, you know, the years keep clicking by. You know, it's 2015. You don't get it. It's like, well, what the hell? When are they ever going to go back to Unidentified Flying Mater? You know, you get all the Tokyo Mater stuff. You get some Monster Truck Mater stuff. Oh, they plan to release Mater in 2017. He gets canceled. Oh no, now it's 2020. You're like really scratching your head. When is this thing going to get released? And then here in 2022, Cars on the Road comes out and there's your answer. That is why time travel shouldn't exist, because it would probably drive people to insanity. Yeah, think about that, guys. If you got shown stuff well in advance without any context and you just mulled it over for years and years, how that'll ever happen. Definitely not a healthy way to live. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, who's your favorite car from the B-movie episode of Cars on the Road? We've got quite a few here. Tony Motorfeld might still be my favorite because I love his design. Doug Crankle being the Zombies Suite. Belle Cadaver, kind of basic, but a nice character. You have the Mater McQueen. You got Jessica Carville, who they did earlier this year as well. As always, really appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time for another video. Bye now.